welcome to Fly Nubian Money. It is a new week, but you're here with Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. And today, y'all, we are definitely going to be talking about money. Today, we're breaking down a major issue that's got the whole country, not the whole world, talking, and it is about tariffs. But over 50% of Americans are saying no to these new tariffs. They're worried about rising costs, economic instability, and job security. But what do these tariffs really mean for everyday people like you and me? Will they protect American businesses, or will they just make life more expensive? We have got a powerful court today, and we have a lot to say, but we're going to break it down, and we're definitely going to get into it. We have Tierra Williams, producer and actress. We have Marlo Layson, TV and film producer. And we have Moya, our tax professional. You know, she can tell us about your money, and how this is going to be affecting us. Listen, guys, it's been a wild and crazy weekend. And the tariffs from our country to other countries, especially our neighboring countries, took effect this past weekend. And it has been a very volatile news week. And we're trying to break it down so that we can see how this really looks. Because it's always great to see things on the big screen and you're seeing all these news things. But we want to talk about how it is going to affect us, the everyday American, and how this is going to look for our households. So I want us to look at a video because the average Americans, over 50%, my loves, they don't want these tariffs. So let's check this out.
Tonight, American households and businesses are bracing to pay higher prices, with President Trump's sweeping tariffs set to hit nearly half of all imports that enter into the U.S. Tariffs are fees paid by businesses to the U.S. government when products and materials cross the border.
The U.S. importer has to write a check to the U.S. government. And what we saw in the 2018-2019 trade war is that burden was shifted directly onto American buyers and their customers. So it is Americans who have been shown over and over again to pay the burden of these tariffs, not foreigners.
Economists say the tariffs could cost American households on average up to $1,500 extra per year as businesses pass down higher costs. The first place consumers would feel the hit, in the grocery aisle. 47% of all imported vegetables come from Mexico and Canada, plus 91% of avocados and 87% of tomatoes.
You can't stockpile fresh tomatoes, fresh avocados. So I imagine that in this particular segment of goods, we're going to see those cost increases being pushed forward in a matter of weeks.
Liquor like tequila also set to get more expensive. Small business owners like Amar Harag in San Diego say margins are already tight.
It seems like at every turn we have to look at additional costs to run our business, which then results into that $1-2 increase.
The auto sector also highly exposed. New car prices could go up $3,000 on average if the tariffs stay in effect. And with 60% of imported crude oil coming from Canada, drivers could feel pain at the pump too. Gas Buddies says prices could rise 20 cents in regions like the Midwest and Northeast.
Okay, now we're talking money. All right, we're actually talking money. These are a little more in depth of talking about just the battle that's going on right now. Our major battle right now is definitely with Canada and Mexico. Both import a lot of things to us, and we export a lot of things to them. But I want people to understand what we're talking about today, because it seems that a lot of people don't quite understand what tariffs are. So we have an explanation for you. What is a tariff? A tariff is a tax imposed by one country on the goods and services imported from another country to influence it, raise revenues, or protect competitive advantages. So this also needs to be understood that any tariff that is put on any country, this is worldwide, either us or them, the cost gets passed down to you. It's not a punishment necessarily to that country. It is actually a punishment to you. So I'm basically going to start off with our tax expert, which is Moya. Moya, why do you think that most Americans, and 50%, I'm guessing actually it's really higher, are opposing these tariffs right now?
It's because that it's going to have a drastic effect on our everyday items that we purchase, whether we're looking at food, whether we're looking at automobiles. It's affecting a lot of key industries, especially in our swing states in Georgia and Michigan and in Pennsylvania, which are heavily populated by Blacks. So it's going to have a real effect on our community that we're going to start to feel right away.
And with that being said, is there any way that taxes get tied into this for people's households?
Well, it depends. It depends because you can look at it from a sales tax perspective. Like if the cost is higher, then the percentage of sales tax that you have to pay is higher. So, and because of the cost of our everyday goods are going to be higher, when you get that tax refund, it's not going to go as far because we have to pay now more for our goods that we didn't have to before.
Definitely. We're going to definitely see that. Now, listen, I'm asking our viewership family, because you know your family, how are you feeling? Are you part of the 50% that is saying no? Or do you think this is something that is needed? Because the way it's being pitched at us, it's supposed to be making America strong again, right? Or great again. I don't see anything being great about what's going on with this when promises were made to bring bills down. And with that being said, Tiara, we were talking just a little bit before we went on, and we were talking about prices of goods like groceries, and we know that gas and electronics are going to be included. How are you seeing economy as it is now, and what do you expect these tariffs to do for us in our groceries?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things, right? We're the first few days of this new administration has been interesting that there's so many moving parts. We have DEI happening. DEI is dying, according to them. There deportations of I'll never call them illegals, but our foreign sisters and brothers is what I'll say. And then so there's so many things happening, and then you put this tariff on top of that, this tariff business on top of that. I don't know. I think there's just so many things happening. I'm sure that it's going to impact us in a way. Today I was telling my queens that I literally paid $15.87 for eggs yesterday, and this is a carton of 18, right? And the dozen was $9.99. So I can only imagine once you start to move people out, move others out that are also helping drive our economy. It's going to be like at some point and later in the year, it's going to be like $20. This is not going to, I don't foresee this helping us. I think it's with everything moving, and it's hard to tell, Lala, because again, everything is moving and we're like, okay, so we can't stabilize. What does this mean?
What do I always say? I always say we're getting hit with so many things at one time. We can't even hit one ball when we
Yeah,
have 1,000 other ones hitting us in the back of the head.
correct.
And that is a problem. And I will say also, we had Cordelia Blake who said that mass deportations are going to drive up prices as well, because we don't have the workers who typically work our produce and things of that nature. I already know that Florida is being affected. California is being affected. Our brown brothers and sisters who are out there working very hard are now afraid to even be out there. And so that's not going to help us on top of these tariffs. But Wayne Johnson says, listen to this, check back in about 6 months when we're paying $12 for a carton of eggs, just a carton, and $8 for a loaf of bread, and tell us, was it really worth it? So Marlo, you're really excellent at what you do, and your reporting is absolutely on top. So I want to know, how do you think these tariffs impact global trade and America's relationship with other countries?
It's going to have an impact, right? I think that one, we have a whole situation where China owns a lot of our debt, right? So to say you're going to tax somebody that you owe that's an interesting place to go, right? But then when we think about what we really get in terms of Canadian imports is oil. I live in the South. We got pumps all around here, a little crude, little fracking. We got all kind of stuff. So we never really feel pain when everybody else in the nation feels pain at the gas pump, right? We go up 4, we crying. Places are $7, $8, $12. The Midwest is going to suffer if this Canadian tax if this Canadian tariff takes hold, because their gas prices are shooting up for all of it because they can't refine it, right? There's so many, like Tiara said, there's so many moving pieces, and it's so hard to understand how the cost of avocados, right? When those avocados go up, that's your restaurant foods. That's not just the avocados that you're buying in the store. That means now menu prices are going up, right? That means food prices, things that have avocado in them, pressed, dried, whatever, everything is going up. So the one little product that we look at, the tomato, is obviously going to affect you the one time when you go to the store, but it's going to affect your burger, whether it's fast food or a bougie restaurant, right? It's going to affect your salad. It's going to affect everything. So I think people need to look at this as a broader, like see it in a broader spectrum, right? Because if something is made in Mexico, a little small chip for your car, now all of a sudden you need your brakes fixed. The cost of your brakes has gone up because you need that part. So I think people aren't looking at all the areas of how this pain will look and how the pain will show up, but it's coming. Thank you, Jamila. Yes, we are fear mongering as usual. Call me when your pockets stay fat.
Yeah, don't come in here with that. We're talking truths in here and how it really and truly will affect us. And before we go to break, I do want to mention this, that I hope you don't think these countries that our current administration is putting these high tariffs on are laying down and crying about it, baby. They don't. They're like, whatever. It's tit for tat now. Guess what? You want this, then this is what you get. And Musk got hit from Canada with 100% tariffs on Tesla. And this is when things get very dangerous, when wallets start to get hit at these upper level shenanigans, big guns will be pulled out. So we worried about us being the small people, but when it starts hitting the big billionaires, that's when we're in massive danger. So I want you to understand that. Go ahead.
Yeah, especially when they're actually the president of the United States. I mean, I saw somewhere that Elon has access to our treasury, our Medi-Cal, our Medicaid, all the things. So it just kind of tells you how much access he has. So, anyway, we can go but he's really the president.
And you were extremely right about that. I actually spoke to a very good friend of mine in the government. And she immediately let me know that that was done and that there are government employees who are literally shaking in their boots right now.
Yeah.
That says a lot. So this isn't just about this. This is what I call the magnetic monster. It continues to grow legs and deeply rooted, and we don't know just how that looks. You remember the upside down and what's that crazy stuff, Stranger Things? We in the upside down, y'all. We in the upside down. The monster's already here. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I am the proud producer of this show. So I hope that every day when you join us, you leave a little smarter than you came, because that's the point. Otherwise, why are you watching? So if you want to receive notices for when we go live, Fly Nubian Money goes live every single day. That's Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't know, now you know. All you have to do is text the word Queens. That's Queens. That's Queens to 87948. That's 87948. That's Queens to 87948. Yes? If you want.
See it if you don't know, now you know. Listen, you don't want to miss a show. We are talking hot and heavy, and things are getting hot and heavy in America. So we want to share how this will affect our community so that we can definitely help you financially. So that means you don't want to miss a show. So in order not to miss one, all you have to do is text the word Queens, Queens, to 87948. 87948. Yes, right. All right. So we've talked a little bit about this and a little bit of that and how tariffs can really affect people. But this is also something that we do need to talk about. So, Moya, I'd like to know what you think. How might tariffs affect job security in industries that rely on imports?
And that's a really, really big one. And especially when we're talking about the car industry, we're talking about Ford, we're talking about, we brought it up in California. Like California is being hit from so many angles in terms of the agricultural and the farmers, the workforce here. And so it's really, really going to have a strong effect on us. Marlo did mention it in terms of the chips and people in engineering. One of the things that I do want to say is I felt like Marlo is fear mongering because she's worried about her avocados and tomatoes because she's over there looking so good from her fitness journey. So I think she's worried about that more than anything.
Right? Well, listen, most people already talk about how what they consider the healthier foods are already high. And it's so easy to just go to Mickey Donald's and go and get you a dollar menu. And, then your health is affected because it's not the best thing. So honestly, you know what? People are already saying that's too high. So we're going to see more complaints about that. I want to mention something that Black Lexicon said because this is a very important thing that's going on as well. If you don't know about, China is only getting about 10% tariff punishment from the administration. But look, imports are a gigantic amount. 1% to 3% should have been the ceiling. He is sending another message. It's a pleasure for something. It's a pressure for something that he wants. So what I want to break that down is he's imposing all of these things on Mexico and Canada. Now, what has he been saying about Canada? He's been saying that Canada needs to be assimilated into our country. So I can't disagree with Black Lexicon on that. Marlo, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm not even entertaining that. I don't want to even entertain that because we've gotten so far away from facts and history and processes in this country. We got Elon Musk walking around with all the keys to every door. He ain't elected. Like, I don't know. I don't want to fearmonger any more than old girl told me I already was. So I don't even want to get into that because this is very serious, important stuff. And we have gotten to a place in our culture, American culture specifically, where we are so unserious about every single thing. And I just don't want to even give credence to nonsensical things like, because that would mean that they would cease to be an autonomous nation, right? The only way that they would want to stop being an autonomous nation is by force, because Canada's economy is not suffering. Canada is not in social turmoil. They got problems across the border, but it's not anything that they can't get into a parliamentary situation and resolve on their own. So how do we go about acquiring Canada? I'm not even entertaining that. That is silly shit. And it's enough silly shit happening. Like, he probably, since we've been having this conversation almost 20 minutes, he probably done signed 42 executive orders that we don't even know about. So I'm not even thinking about Canada right now.
The man don't sleep. The man don't sleep. He don't sleep. And if he goes to the bathroom, we all know what he does on the toilet. So, he doesn't go to sleep. Somebody please give this man a sleeper pill so I can breathe and you can breathe. But Tiara, so listen, with all that being said, if prices go up due to all of these tariffs, and they will, we know that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
We've seen it in the past. So how should consumers adjust their spending? How do you see us adjusting for these rising prices?
I say we got to get some side hustles. We got to figure out how to make more money. We got to start side businesses. We got to start new businesses. If you're not entrepreneurial, look to invest in someone else's business. Either way it goes, you need some more, or a new way to make more income, because you're going to need it, and you're going to need that emergency fund, because things are going to go up. Like I said, I'm paying $15 for eggs. which I never ever thought would happen. But I need the eggs, right? I need to make food. We got to make stuff. So in that, I had to start the Fly Nubian Money Club. Like I had to, do other things that would expand the brand. And so I just encourage everyone to do that. Start something.
And
This is good for us, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I want us to understand that there's always this thing called mother necessity, and we are a resilient community. Listen, if Margaret has chickens and you growing greens, at some point you and Margaret can switch and be able to do that. It's called bartering. And we used to do that quite a bit in our neighborhoods. And I think that it's time that we definitely get back to that. Now, I want to pull up some comments about that we have seen online of people's reactions about these tariffs and how they're feeling, because we've already heard that 50% have said they don't like it, right? So Andy Hunter says you'll feel it immediately as soon as there are markups. The price goes up on everything. Companies won't wait to sell through old product to increase prices. And that's very true. Josh says cars cost too much anyway. Yeah, they do. But now you're actually going to see so much more on that. And also the cut of quality on many of the products that we have as well, because they're going to take shortcuts. But who cares when regulations are being thrown out the door? Oh, I digress. D, most comments over here saying we need to make our own product or produce. Okay, and who's going to work, Americans? Low pay and long hours. I am wondering if those commenting are going to apply for it. That is a really good comment, guys. Do you really think that Americans are going to step up and do what they need to do, or are they just too comfortable about other people doing it for them? Well, how do you feel about that, Moya? Do you think that we're going to step up as a country and do what we need to do?
Well, I guess my question is, what does step up mean? Step up means go into the fields to work and pick strawberries?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes, that's exactly the jobs that people are being sent home, that the
black jobs, the original black jobs.
The original black jobs. Are we going to take those original black jobs, Moya?
But isn't that what they would like to see anyway? I mean, they're lining up these privatization prisons, y'all. Do you understand? I mean, do you understand who is going to be in those? And like I said, they're privatization. So of course they're going to put all of these people to work if they're not going to send them to Guantanamo, right? So we have so much. Oh my God, we have so much. Like I said, it's so hard to hit one ball.
Lala really hit something. I wonder if it went over people's heads, though. Like, that was actually a good one right there, Lala. That was a good connection. I think you need to say that for the people in the back to hear that one.
What did I say?
Right, because I heard you, right? I was like, wait a minute now. Are you saying, Lala, that possibly that the jobs that foreign people have come into the country and worked that Americans do not want to work, either we as Black Americans will have those jobs, or will they use the prisoners to work those jobs? Like, yes. What are you saying?
I'm saying that's exactly what's going to happen. It was the plan all along. He has made agreements for these private prisons. And when you can't deport them and they send them back, or those who already have their 3 strikes, or those who may only have 1 strike, for God's sake now, they're going to put your ass in the field with the chain gang.
Because
you will be picking cotton.
That's already popping. That's ain't going
to. Because the 13th Amendment says that slavery is illegal, except if you're in prison, right? Except for
they're not about to pay anybody $20, $22 an hour to go out into the strawberry fields. So, okay, Lala.
Maybe they've been doing tests all along, and we've been asleep at the wheel.
Well, Angola never stopped being a farm. The state penitentiary of Louisiana never ceased to be a plantation. It's always been a work farm.
And also places like Mississippi, Alabama. But look at those relations to racism and GOP leadership. And the rest of the world, we worried about our, $7 Starbucks. But there are certain southern states that have been doing this quietly in the back, and everybody else has been like, shh, we don't see that. We see no evil. Now we got to see it.
California just had prisoners putting out the fire for less than $1.
Right.
Kim Kardashian was just on her soapbox saying, at least pay them $1. At least pay them $1. Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh
With
God.
that, we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. I'm going to think about it. Oh my God.
Yeah. You want to grow your money and not blow your money, as Constance says, check us out at flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, programs, videos, resources. In 2024, there's no reason to be broke when there's information all around us. So get your money right. flynubianmoney.com.
Get your money right, get your money tight. We say this all the time, and we are talking about serious money issues today. So you really do need to be checking out our website, flynubianmoney.com, because we have great resources to help get you started on your financial house. You need a healthy financial house. You and your household must protect yourself. And if you don't know where to start, we've got great beginning things for you at flynubianmoney.com. So make sure that you do that today. I want to get back to some of the other comments that that the overall Americans are saying, since we know that 50% are against these. We have a couple of more of those I want to share with you, because I think that some of them make sense and some of them, maybe I'm crazy, don't. But Miss Christiana said it's been high since 2019. Prices just kept a steady pace going up no matter what happened. The more it goes up, the more I downsize, looking at the possibility of another country.
Yes.
Bluebird says, I got you, y'all. I got you. Bluebird said it's not only going to be the things that they put the tariffs on, it's going to be everything, because all the companies are going to try to get rich from this. Aha, big corporations. Dew says we need to start making our own stuff and relying on ourselves, not other countries. Yes, buy and help and provide, but rely on ourselves just like we do every day as people. But do we though? Glowy says, don't people realize that most everything is going to be affected? Just because it's not made foreign does not mean that some American businesses isn't sourcing their ingredients or products outside. We discussed that. Novak says, short-term pain for short-term success. We need things made in America. It'll take a while, but maybe my grandkids one day in the long, long time will have a great place to live. Maybe. Yeah, we're going to stop right there. That last comment, Marlo, that last comment.
Wait, what did it say? I want to see.
The last comment talked about this is just a short-term thing to give us a long-term goal. Short-term pain for long-term.
I'm trusting the process. We have nothing. You know what? We got to read this, because there's people in the comments that feel this way, and I'm just trying to understand their logic.
I would love to. So let's read it again. And I want to hear your comments. You put them in there. But Marlo, I'm going to ask you first, when I get finished with reading this, how you feel about this. So short-term pain for long-term success. We need things made in America. It'll take a while, but maybe my grandkids one day in a long, long time will have a great place to live, maybe. You know, when I read that again, to me, it kind of sounds a little bit of sarcastic, but honestly, this is actually what was said from the top of the administration to us this weekend. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, every generation of a certain segment of America is always wishing for better for the grandkids, right? When Barack Obama was in office, they were voting against Obama because the deficit was too high for the grandkids, right? The grandkids should not have to bear the debt. That's what they all were saying, the debt, the debt, the debt. Then they voted for Donald Trump, a businessman who would make everything better. And what he did was increase the debt that they wanted to get. Obama was just squandering all the money that the grandkids' inheritance. He just squandered it all, even though he left a surplus and then the other one got a deficit, right? And so then Biden tried to steady the ship because, as our lady said at the top of the hour, that there were tariffs passed in 2019. So let's go back to who was the president in 2019 when the last tariff experiment happened. And we got to this place where people were talking about inflation, soft recession, hard recession. Here we are again, right? In October, the eggs were too damn high. And then in Christmas, we had record sales for Black Friday, right? We had record travel. Everybody was getting on a plane. Everybody was going by to high eggs and eating with their families. So every generation of the certain segment of the population is doing things for the grandkids. Now the grandkids went from it's too much debt to we got to have expensive things so that the grandkids could have less expensive things potentially one day. Get off it. I'm sick of the grandkids. I'm sick of your grandkids. I'm sick of you prioritizing your grandkids. I'm sick of you utilizing your grandkids as a tool against people, marginalized people, every time you want to support some dumb shit, and then you put it on your grandkids. They don't even care. They're watching YouTube. They don't care about none of this shit. And what they'll do for sure, because this is an intergenerational thing that y'all seem to be passing down, is they'll be talking about their grandkids when they elect some sucker in office that swindles them right quick and then tells them, listen, your wallet gonna be a little tight. I don't know how long it's gonna be tight, but later it'll be greater. Y'all want to keep buying later greater? I guess I'll just have to buy me a damn chicken and start planting me some avocados.
Right? Because you sure can grow them in pots nowadays. And I ain't scared of no chicken. I grew up on the farm. I ain't scared of no chicken. I ain't scared of no duck. I ain't scared to pick my own produce or climb up a tree and get that apple tree. We had it all. And when I was a kid, I thought to myself, I can't wait to get out of this. I don't want to do this my whole life. I want to move to California. And now here I am at 54, getting ready to be the double nickels, talking about, I want to go back and I don't mind picking the green. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't put that. I don't want that for my child. I don't want that for my grandchild. And D3D says, so Granny could care less at this point. It's all about them drinking that Kool-Aid, right?
So
go ahead, Moya.
So I just want to add that I think it's really interesting that this is what they say. Like Elon Musk has also come out and said that in 2 years, it'll take for the economy to get back to where they want it to be. But we act like we don't know how America was made in terms of you need a certain segment of the population to have low wages. You need things to be low. So he's okay with imports being high because it doesn't really affect him. But when we talk about H-1B visas and you paying a lower salary to these people who are imported, meaning they come from India to America to work jobs here, but then that's not a problem. So it's just the double speak for me that we have to really learn to listen to.
I'm telling you, there's double speak on both sides. Everybody's talking out of the side of their neck, but still yet telling you exactly. Here's my problem, y'all. They told us exactly what they were going to do. It was laid out in Project 2025 that the current administration, I just refused to keep saying his name, said they knew nothing about. But now that it's affecting those who thought that they were a them, and they're finding out that they are an us, now you are seeing all of those tears come out, and you are seeing the complaints, or you're worried about your babies eating now. So you do you, boo, because I'm a part of the 92, and I'll just be sipping my tea over here while I work on my community while you fix it, because you're the one who put this orange turd in there. So what do we do about our community? Tiara, what are some ways that our Black community can use these tariffs to our advantage? Because we are talking about, listen, there's not always a dark lining on absolutely everything. We can find a light somewhere. What can we do to our advantage?
I want Moya to answer that question. Moya, what can we do? Because this is my sis's jam, right? Her working in taxes, I want to know. I want to learn that from Moya. What can we do, Moya?
The funny thing is, I was interested to hear what you had to say, Tiara.
Oh, you perked up. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me ask Moya, because I think she has the answer to that.
I feel like it's the same thing that Tier actually said at the start, was we really have to focus on working and opening up a business. And many of us have different skill sets. It's about monetizing those skill sets. And the cool thing about it is, with the Fly Nubian Money Club, is every skill set that you can possibly think of that you want to do, it's within the club. So that way you don't have to do it by yourself. You can really utilize everything that's there to start getting the skills up, because the name of the game nowadays is advancement of your skills. Your skills, your skills, your skills. That's the only thing that's going to pay you, that doesn't require you to be working a 9 to 5.
Skills. So we need to get our skills up, Lala. That's what I'm hearing from Moya. Make sure that you have those skills.
I'm telling you, that's what we're here for. We are called Fly Nubian Money. We do way more than that. We are telling you and showing you literally what you can do to take advantage of these types of things. Now we do have a Dusty in the comments, and here y'all go, Danny. Here y'all go with the 2025 bull, mindless. Can you read? I don't think you know how to read, love. And you probably didn't even pick it up and read it at all. I read it thoroughly more than once. I broke it down more than once. I explained even on my own shows what it meant, and it is coming to pass. So go on up out of here with that, because you're not talking to the right queens, and get your mind right so that you can understand what's getting ready to happen to you. I don't doubt that maybe you're a bot and you would love to put a Black woman's face on that, because we are seeing more and more of that. We know how to peep game. How about that?
There's also we listen, we got some people who are cooning out here, y'all.
Ooh,
Let's be clear. There are people that believe, for all of us who are just like thoughtful and reading and thinking and looking at the news and can kind of like deduce what's going on and read between the lines. There are people that really see, I don't know, this as advantageous, like see this administration as like the savior. They really do. And so this feels like fear mongering to them. This feels like we're talking liberal. We're talking, I don't know. It's stupid. They stupid, but
you got to think about it. How Trump talks. He talks so confident. Like, he makes you almost be like, wait a second, are tariffs good for us? Like,
does he? What does he say? I just hear very, very bad and very, very good. Like,
that's what it is. It's a series of superlatives, joke, inflection, superlative, joke, name call, inflection. It's a show. It is really that's why I tell people, you want to learn how to be more like a con artist than a marketer. But if you want to learn to be a master marketer, look at 4547, because 4547 got it going on when it comes to, he could just layer on some shit that don't even make sense, and you'd be like, wait a minute, was it? No, it wasn't. Let me go look this up. Like, you have, because otherwise you'll just believe it because it's marketing speak, right? And marketing speak is not meant to be verified, right? It's new and improved. It's better and best. It's reformulated with extra water, right? That's what marketing speak is. It is absolutely nothing, but it's everything at the same time. And he has mastered it. I mean, that's because you're a smart girl. You went to that good school. That's why he can't get up in there. But for the people that's a little weaker, they be sick.
Listen, I worked on The Apprentice. Like, I worked on the second or third season. I can't remember. It's been so long ago. But I used to have to watch those tapes and pull together story and take out some of the sound bites. And we just have to dig through. And what I saw was an actor, a person that understood how to get people going. He understood how to be provocative. There's an element of show that
it's professional wrestling.
That's it. That's all.
It is professional wrestling. You know it's not real, right? You paid your money. I'm going in there. Hulkamania gonna run wild. I already know what's gonna happen. I've been a wrestling fan before, so that's why I understand. I also understand why it's his mass appeal, right? And for people, there was a time, I don't want to get too much into this, but there was a time when people frowned upon professional wrestling. So now you have all of these millions of people who have been part of this kind of subculture that are saying, ha, look, our guy is here. That's how he was popularized. It really was not The Apprentice. The Apprentice is kind of highbrow for Donald Trump. It really was his appeal in the WWE. He's in the Hall of Fame. Like, he is a real part of that, like a Marvel comic book character, but just in the wrestling world. And so, listen, my man don't be saying shit, but he be saying a lot. And the people be eating it up. They be like, "Ooh, this tastes so. Ooh, this shit tastes good," right? They don't even realize they eating shit. They just like, "Ooh, shit tastes good."
The Kool-Aid is delicious, even though it'll cause you to die. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna be right back.
Fly Nubian Money is now on Spotify. Yes, yes, yes. We are on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. All you have to do is search Fly Nubian Money and we will appear. All of our episodes. Make sure that you leave a 5-star rating and reviews so other people that come along and are looking for a good show to watch, they'll follow us too. If you are interested in being on Fly Nubian Money, sorry, I don't have any spaces. I'm just playing. If you are interested in being a queen or a king on Fly Nubian Money for the day, please reach out to me. I'm at info@realvirtual.net. That's info@realvirtual.net. Also, if you need help with your business, go ahead and send me an email for that too. Okay. I've said enough. Now back to the show.
You know, I find it very, very interesting that we have such beautiful people that watch our show. We have a lot of dedicated people who come here every day and they give us our time and they give us really great conversation. And then we have those who like to come in and just throw out bullshit and never back it up. Well, here's your time. Here's your time. You're invited. You're invited, baby. You're invited, dear, since I'm a dear. Come on. I host most of the time. I'll be here waiting for you. But all you got to do is email us at info@realvirtual.net. If you want to come on the show, you want to put your point of view in. We've never bashed anybody for their point of view. You have a right to speak whatever you want to speak. You know, it may not always be right, but we still will listen to it. So all you have to do is email us at info@realvirtual.net. And that's a simple thing to do, right? Go ahead. Put your money where your mouth is, baby. Put your money where your mouth is. Now, listen. We have another video, which I think is really crucial because we did say that 50% of Americans oppose these new tariffs. And it's very interesting when the elections were so close in the first place. We literally were, after all the tallies were it really did boil down to 1%. Do you guys really realize that nobody really talked about after everything was really, really tallied, just how close this election was? So it's very important for us to understand that 50% of Americans are opposing this when we also had such a close election. So what's going on with this? Let's check this out.
They cheated.
Cheated?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Now can't believe this.
I don't get it. I simply put, I don't get it. Because if we take a look here, Trump tariffs on Canada, China, and Mexico, the support is 38%. Now, you don't have to be a mathematical genius to figure out that the 51% opposed is higher than the 38% support. Americans are saying no, no, no when it comes to these Trump tariffs. You know, there have been some things that Trump has perhaps done in his early days that are popular. I've pointed those out. But this, my dear friend, is not popular at all. I've looked at a bunch of polling data, some with vague polling language, some with more specifics like this one. And in every single one, the plurality or majority opposed the Trump tariffs, and just this tiny bit right here, 38% south of 40% support him, Jessica.
And so why do people appear to be against tariffs?
Yeah.
I think I know the answer, but why?
But why? You know, sometimes I like the little layups and then I like to jump through them, right?
Right,
All right.
yeah, we all like to look smart like that. It's fine.
Exactly, right. I love to look smart. It makes me look good in front of my mother. Look, tariffs' effect on the U.S. economy, just 34% say they're good. Get this, 47% say bad. How about on yourself, right? Your own economic. Look at this, just 17% say good, 46% say bad. So you see very similar numbers on the bad effects that folks believe that the tariffs have on either the U.S. economy or their own pocketbook. So folks think the tariffs are bad because, simply put, they don't believe they work economically. And I think if you asked a lot of economists, they would agree with the American people on this one.
Okay, so here's what's very interesting about that to me, because I do believe that it is an educational thing, that most Americans do not understand a lot of our economy. They do not understand the history of our country. They do not understand anything. They don't take the time to learn. And I think a lot of this, people didn't really quite understand that the used car salesman gave them a lot of crockery on what tariffs really were. So, I'm going to ask you this, Tiara, because the last question you deferred, but I do want to hear from you on this. So, should should the government do a better job explaining how trade policies affect the average American, or do you think they like a dumb or uneducated American?
Yeah, I think they should be more transparent about that and a lot of other things. But I'll stay here on tariffs and economics because our government, our current government, is corrupt in spirit, in the way that they handle business. You never know whose hand is washing the other hand. I feel like we're always in the middle of a circus and there's a ringleader, but we never know what's behind the veil. There's always a reason when we actually learn things, there's a reason why we're learning it. Even if it happened years ago, there's just always a reason. There's always the only reason why we're learning information when it does come out is because either it's all part of the plot, all part, where we feel like we're being, the government is being honest, but instead it's a greater purpose. They're doing it for another reason. And this doesn't have anything to do with it, but with tariffs so much is I'm just thinking, like, in this first 10 days, watching how certain things play out and how we've been warmed up to we've been warmed up, they've been warming us up, doing things like declassifying Dr. King's files, or there's a reason why they would do that. And to you see what I'm saying about when things are revealed versus when they're not. So I'm taking away Black history in America. I'm taking away history. Let me ruin your leader. Let me. So there's always a agenda, and so I just think that I think the government needs to be dismantled and built back up, just because of the way it was built. It was built on corruption and slavery, and it was just built on the wrong principles. So I think most of the industries in America, needs to be dismantled and rebuilt.
A house built on sinking sand will never stand. And I have always said that. America has never been built on the right principles. So therefore, she will reap what she sows very easily. And we are seeing that now. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see it overnight. But I think what we are seeing is culmination of just that. We are living in the time where we are seeing these things. We have to remember, America is a baby. America is a baby in this whole wide world. Other countries in the US and the UK and all those, they've been around for millions and millions of years. Okay, they got history from like BC. All right, America does not. But yet, all those countries over there have had a time of fluctuation and a time of decline. We are now seeing our serious decline in America because we are the baby. So we've got to live through it. I am going to pull up some stats because we have talked about how these tariffs can affect us, but I think we also need to see it, because when you see it and you hear it, it also soaks in a little bit deeper. And this helps you to be able to digest it and get a game plan. So over 50% of Americans oppose new tariffs due to the concerns about rising costs and economic instability. Tariffs often lead to higher consumer prices as companies pass the extra costs down to consumers. For example, the Trump-era China tariff were estimated to cost U.S. households an extra $1,200 per year. And when so many are struggling just to make ends meet each month, that adds up, guys. Small businesses rely heavily on imports. About 40% of U.S. small businesses say tariffs would hurt their ability to remain competitive. Tariffs can contribute to inflation, with economists warning that new tariffs could raise inflation rates by 5.5% or more in 2025. Tariff war impacts jobs. During past trade conflicts, now this is history, y'all, American farmers lost billions in sales due to the retaliatory tariffs from other countries. Industries most affected by tariffs include technology. Those are those chips that Marlo were talking about, automotive and agricultural, meaning everything from smartphones to food and cars could become more expensive. And I'm going to be bold enough and say will, not could. And with that, I want you to really soak in what we told you because it will affect everything. We're going to take a short break and we will be right back.
Do you want to make $1 million this year? What? Was that a yes? Oh, then guess what? You're in for luck. My name is Vanessa Gopal. I am a successful entrepreneur and owner of Winter Remodeling, Inc., a general contracting firm. Over my career, we've procured millions of dollars for myself and for clients. And I partner now with the Fly Nubian Money Club, where I'm going to teach you some of the successful business strategies that I use that involve B2B, in-face networking, and also B2C. Because one thing I do know is if you don't sell, then your business will surely fail.
I don't know how to get any more powerful than that. Then if you don't sell, baby, your business will fail. And what we do here is we've told you over and over what we're trying to do. We're trying to help you get your money right and your money tight. And how are you going to do that? You're going to learn the new skills that you need. Don't believe the hype. There's always opportunity. There's always opportunity in everything. What do you think them white folks do? Follow what they do, follow the leader, and you get your money together. And how do you do that? You join the Fly Nubian Money Club to get the training that you need to get your skills up and to also protect your household financially. So we are going to have this wonderful training with Vanessa Gopal. We've already had 3 before. You've had Athena, you've had Constance, and you've had I. And if you wanted to know what we teach, then I guess you better go find out. Go sign up today. We got a 30-day free trial, flynubianmoneyclub.com. Now, ladies, we have had a fantastic conversation. I'm sure we could have sat back and talked about this a whole lot more because it does affect Americans, the average American, but it's also going to affect our communities even more. We always know that we are the last ones to get served, but the first ones to be taken away from, right? So I want to hear what your final thoughts are and where we can find you. So let's start with you, Marlo.
My final thought is maybe let me be optimistic about these tariffs. Maybe this is an opportunity for us, Lala touched on it earlier, to get community gardens and local farmers markets reinvigorated. Maybe this is an opportunity for us to bolster local economies and spend money with our friends and neighbors that are already here so that we can avoid the corporate tariffs as much as possible, right? Because there will be markups, right? Your local person might get their soil from somewhere where it got to be imported. But I think that this may be an opportunity for us to redirect and refocus on local, right? Hyper local, what's available to you. Maybe we shouldn't be eating avocados 12 months out of the year, right? Maybe we shouldn't have watermelon. I can remember, I'm old enough to remember things were seasonal and there was a time when you could get things and a time when you couldn't. So maybe this is a functional us moving back toward a time such as that, when things just weren't 150% accessible 365 days a year. So that's my little positive spin I'm going to put on it. That's all I got. Celebrate Black History Month. No matter what the people say in Washington, D.C., no matter what they take off the calendar, it's still Black History Month. Carter G. Woodson put it together so that no man may take us under. So celebrate your history, learn your history, lean into history. Constance today posted a very powerful video about a woman who was terribly lynched after her husband was as well. And so learn your history, because that's what's going to embolden us. That's what's going to empower us. That's what's going to get us back to a place where we are a strong community that circulates our dollar longer than 6 hours out of the day. If you're looking for me, my name is Marlo Layson, and I can be found all over the internet. I create content locally, entertainment, you name it. If I like it, I write about it. You've probably read a story in your local sphere that you didn't realize was me. If you're looking for me, I am I'm in the midst of a fitness journey, a wellness journey, and I have a mission to get 10,500 crunches between now and May 24th. That is 100 crunches a day, every day. Come cheer me on. I'm over Marlo on Instagram. That's my name, backward, forward, with an underscore at the end. Thank you. Stay Black. I love y'all. Happy Black History Month.
I am so excited for Marlo's journey on her health. Look at it, y'all. She's just glowing. Her skin is just glowing. She's just doing big things. And we are here to cheer you on, sister.
Yes.
Make sure that you definitely go and follow her and give her a little encouragement, because sometimes maybe oatmeal don't necessarily taste that good all the time, but she's still doing it.
How many crunches is that, sis? Let me write it down, because I'd be about joining you, but I don't. Let me. How many is that?
It's 100 a day.
But what was the
10,500? That is what it is between now and May 24th.
May 24th. Ooh, Jesus. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm doing good on the runs, Jesus. All right now, I don't know. I'm one of those people's like, I want to join, but they're like, what are your final thoughts, and where can we find you?
So my closing thoughts would be, this is the time now to go ahead and focus on what it is that you always thought about doing. I always encourage my clients to do, when you get your refund check, put it towards a business. But what really works is when you've prepped for that moment and you just don't put the money in the business and you're like, oh my God, it didn't work, or you're nervous or you're scared. So this is the time. The first round doesn't come out until later, probably the early next week. So use this week here to really think about, what is it that you really wanted to do? What is it that you've always thought about doing? And this is the time to really do it. Write it down, put together a plan. And if you have any questions about how do you use your refund, or wait a second, can I get more of a refund? Definitely reach out to me. You can go to www.moya.tax, or you can go to, I really prefer you go to Instagram, send me a DM, talk to me about what your issue is that you want to know more about. But this is the answer to have more money, so that way you don't feel that hit as the tariffs increase prices.
Wise words from someone who knows money. So you want to make sure that you go and follow her, because she actually has ways where you also can help your students get money too. Okay. So don't miss out. Go and follow Moya. You can do that at www.moya.tax. Stock and chicken hawk. Go and do it. You want to, plus you're cute on top of that. So go on and get the information that you need, and then do what she says. Implement something. Don't just sit back and do nothing, because if you don't try, you won't know if it'll work or not, right? So now I'm going to our beautiful producer, Tiara Williams. What are your final thoughts, and where can we find you?
What's so funny is that I said, so let's say the story is real, right? Just like Marlo, right? I said, so let's say the story is real, and this tariff thing will bring up opportunities for us. That's so funny. So we were thinking alike this morning. But let's just say, I'm gonna add to this. Let's just say the tariffs are real, and it's put here as a protection for the American people to start business, and we can thrive here on our own soil. I would encourage you to use this, because with that, likely the government is going to offer grants or loans or some type of benefits for you to start a new business or a new venture or something, a new farm somewhere. Don't let the white people be the only ones that get it, right? Like, be reading, be looking around, be like, searching, Google the shit. Like, look where you can find things that you can get in on it. Don't just sit back. Don't just sit back, Black people, and just like be like, oh man, we're not benefiting when other people are busting moves. So I'll just say that. I'll also say that this is a great rising, or can be. In every depression, it births lots of millionaires. And so with everything happening, I read, and we're talking about this tomorrow actually. So make sure you come back because we're gonna have a powerful conversation. We were at $1.7 trillion. Now the Black spending power is at 2 trillion. We've officially hit $2 trillion. And so with that, only 2%, we only patronize as a community 2% of our own people, our own Black businesses. 2% of $2 trillion, right? That is $40 billion. All of the other money you are taking outside of the community and putting elsewhere. And so I just think that even if we get to 50% and hold on to our money and keep it in our community a little longer, I think it'll be the change. You want reparations? You asking the government for reparations? Baby, the internet and this spending power that we have is our reparations if we can get with spending with our own people. As you know, story is my love language. And I know that just being a producer and being in all the things in Hollywood, I know that if you tell people a story long enough, they believe it. So I often hear people say, I don't want to patronize Black businesses. I hate the way Black business up. I hate Black businesses, right? And so what that's made you do is only spend 2% with your people because you drank the water, you drank the Kool-Aid or the Kool-Aid or whatever, you drunk it all, right? So I would just say, let's peel it back. Let's take our reparations from what we already have, the money that we're already getting in our communities, keep it in our community, spend with your people. We are starting, or we're already in the midst of starting a Black directory here at Fly Nubian Money. So if you are here and you have a Black business, please send me a message at info@realvirtual.net. Gwen, if you could please bring that up for the people. Go ahead and tell us about your business. We'll add you to the directory. And that way we can pass those things out when people ask, hey, I had somebody email me yesterday saying like, oh, I need a CPA. I said, as a matter of fact, I know a CPA. And I was able to refer. And I didn't even think of that. Like that's what it would turn into. But people have been saying like, I need this. And so I would just say that. Email me, tell me about your business. We'll add it to the directory and let's start working with each other and patronizing each other. And you can find me at Miss Black Hollywood across all platforms. I'm at Miss Black Hollywood.
See, she gets so excited. She always has that's an afterthought. Like, but she does all the things, y'all. All the things. So she did mention we are putting together a Black business directory. So please don't miss out on that. Our magical email address will definitely help you get that in there as well. So make sure that you do send that email in and get in there. And then do what she said, guys. Stop shooting our own self in the feet by saying what we're not going to do. Words are powerful. Words are very powerful. I am learning to switch my words around so that I don't bring what I don't want into my circle, and I only bring what I do want. So I advise that to you. Now, here's my final thoughts. The world is going to do what the world is going to do, but you are a part of the world. So if you want to be a part of the change, you have to put change in your own heart. We can sit back here and we can fuss about the orange turd all we want to. We can argue and fight about things that, you feel like all you can do is sit back and argue about. But if you're just sitting back and arguing about them and not putting your energy and your time into solutions, then you will never be able to get out of that hole. Now, I never will forget, a pastor said that as long as that donkey is in that well, he's smart enough to shake that dirt off. And every time somebody throws something on top of him, if he shakes it off, sooner or later, he's going to be on the top. Be like that donkey. If people are throwing shit on top of you, shake it off so that you can rise. It's as simple as that. Now, listen, you can find me. It's very easy at www.laurakey.net. And there, I do have a quiz that I want you to take. The quiz is, would you like to be a world citizen and not just an American citizen? Because you very well can. Is that something that you can do in your life? If that's something that you want to do in your life? And if you do want to, where do you stand? Is it something that you are at the very beginning? Are you right in the middle? Or can you do it now? Because you don't have to stay in the circumstance. You are a world citizen. So step up and see the world and get out of the box that is trying to hold you down. That's what I have for you. Now, listen, I also want to say thank you to many of our people who come in every single day. We've got Deborah, we've got Jeffrey, we've got Armando, we've got D3D, we've got Dr. Vibe, we have Wayne Johnson. We have so many people, Wayne Johnson, everybody, and Anonymous, you too. You know, we give you a lot of flack, but baby, you here every day. And that says a lot. And we appreciate you, okay? But before we go, I want to give you a message, and then we have a very special message for you after this. So don't just tune off after I say this. I want you to stay with us for a little bit longer because we are celebrating Black history. We are Black history. So we have something very special for you. But this conversation is more than about politics. It's about our pockets. When over half the country is saying no to tariffs, that's a sign that people are worried about what's next. Whether you're a business owner, a worker, or just trying to make ends meet, these policies affect all of us. So what do? Stay informed, stay strategic, and protect our money. The power is in our hands, but we got to know how to use it. So thanks to our panel, Moya, Marlo, and Tierra for taking and breaking it all down. Also making good laughs for everybody as well and beautiful points. So be sure to like and comment and share this episode. And as always, master your mindsets, babies, and maximize your money. We'll see you next time on Fly Nubian Money. Stay tuned for a very special message.
We go to Arrowhead now for Lift Every Voice and Sing as it's played in the stadium.
At the dawn of the 20th century, America was a country full of promise and hope for many. Black Americans faced a different reality, a nation separate and unequal. Yet their hope persisted. Pained by inequality, but inspired by resilience, writer and civil rights activist James Weldon Johnson put pen to paper. His words would become a unifying call, a hope for a brighter tomorrow, a timeless exhortation to lift every voice and sing.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound